North Carolina is shaping up to be a huge, huge state, not only for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, but also down ballot, dealing with the senatorial race as well there, plus the governor's race. Both are on the ballot. And joining us right now is Deborah Ross. She's the Democratic senatorial candidate there in North Carolina. She is facing an incumbent trying to unseat him. Deborah Ross, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
So, first of all, latest polling I've seen shows you down anywhere from 3 to 6 points. Black voters are going to be huge. One of the issues we've seen is that of voter suppression in terms of in this particular state. Federal appeals court said basically what North Carolina is doing is akin to Jim Crow days.
Well, the federal appeals court is absolutely right. It said it targeted black voters with surgical precision. Look, I have fought for voting rights my entire career. I was the sponsor of same-day voter registration at early voting. That bill got passed in 2007, just in time for President Obama to use it to win North Carolina. We've been fighting against Jim Crow ever since the end of the Civil War. This year, I think we're going to show how much we've prevailed.
And one of the other things that also jumps out when you talk about this particular race is that your opponent actually blocked the advancement of several African-American women to federal judge positions.
Oh, well, it's not just that, and I'll go into that. He voted against Loretta Lynch for Attorney General, one of the most qualified people to ever be nominated for Attorney General, and she's from North Carolina. She's from Greensboro. And we can't believe that here. And then there are 2 African-American women who have been nominated to the courts in the Eastern District of North Carolina. One of them served on our state Supreme Court and was elected statewide 2 times. I do not know what is wrong with Richard Burr, but he has just got to go.
One of the things that also, when you talk about what's happening there, we also look at what's happening with the economy. Of course, we know what took place with the shooting there in Charlotte. And what often happens is when you have violence in different places, folks want to focus on a lot of different factors. But you're still dealing with, beyond that shooting of Keith Lamont Scott, you're still dealing with the issue of economics. What exactly do you plan to do to drive the issue of economics, specifically as it relates to African Americans?
Well, first, I want you to know that immediately after the shooting, I was in touch with folks in Charlotte, local elected, clergy, citizens, to talk about how to bring the community together and make it so that we don't have these incidents. I have a history of working on anti-racial profiling laws, got them through the General Assembly in a bipartisan way. But as you know, and as you pointed out, this isn't just a law enforcement issue. This is a quality of life issue. We have got to make sure that everybody has economic security. Launched this campaign more than a year ago, talking about protecting Social Security and Medicare, particularly for our seniors. We know our senior women, and particularly our African-American senior women, rely on Social Security and Medicare to live a dignified senior life. We have got to raise the minimum wage. Richard Burr's against that. We've got to make sure that women get equal pay for equal work. We've got to foster entrepreneurship. Our small businesses, many African Americans and women run our small businesses. They cannot get access to credit, small business loans, things like that. And we've got to make the internet more accessible. There are 2 places in North Carolina where it's very difficult to get the internet, some in our inner cities and in our rural areas, predominantly African-American areas. And we know in the 21st century economy, being connected is the key to success. You
have, of course, more HBCUs in North Carolina than any other. What specifically is your HBCU plan?
Well, I am thrilled that for 10 years I represented Shaw University in the General Assembly. I'll be
speaking at Shaw University at the convocation on Friday.
Oh, wonderful. Well, maybe we'll get to see you there. So there are a couple things that we've done in North Carolina that has helped HBCUs, including making sure that students who go to private colleges and universities get grants because, they're not going to state schools, so they deserve to get those kinds of grants. We need to increase the Pell Grant program. My opponent voted for a budget that would have cut Pell Grants to more than $200,000 Students, we've got to let people be able to borrow at lower interest rates and refinance old student loan debt at today's lower interest rates. There's no reason why the federal government should be making money off the backs of our students. Getting that education is the key to their economic security and our future prosperity.
All right, Deborah Ross, Democratic candidate for United States Senate in North Carolina. Early voting is taking place right now. Folks, we know the lines are very long, but
how the polls in North Carolina for her to win?
Well, we just got a poll from the New York Times yesterday showing us up one. The bottom line here in North Carolina is every vote counts. Because most of these races are within the margin of error, and it's all going to be about turnout. And we have got a great turnout machine. And remember, tell folks in North Carolina you should register to vote and vote the same day up until November 5th. Thank you so much.
Kickstart your day at 7 and get the news you need from the perspective you want. NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.